Got a new lamp in the mail today. Welcome guys, That Brand Film uploading from South Africa. And yes, I am back with another video, and today's video is a bit different than all the other videos that you will find on the channel. If you're new to the channel, quickly pause and go and see what this channel is about. I create tutorial videos and I aim to try and help people up their video making game. Also, someone who has no recollection of how to do video, I want them to come here as well and learn. So yeah, everything, filmmaking, everything. Travel videos still coming, hardcore videos still coming, epic B-roll videos still coming. This channel is fairly new and a lot of cool things coming. We can up our creative video making game by using minimal gear, but also like using the gear that we have and pushing that to its fullest potential and fullest capabilities so that we can conceptually start adapting while we're adapting with gear. I've been filling in some requests and a lot of people have been asking me, what's in your camera bag? What are you shooting with? What is all the gear that you use? How do you make things look the way you do? Well, why not dedicate a video solely to that? Camera bag. This is my camera bag. This is the gear and all the gear that I'm gonna share in this video. It's like 90%, 80%, like 85% of the shoots that I do, I use this gear. When I do get bigger budget projects, that's when I'll rent or hire in different cameras or cameras that have capabilities and abilities that can just stretch a bit further than what my camera can. But most of the shoots that I do for clients and at home is on this camera over here, the Canon R6. That's what I'm shooting with. It's a mirrorless camera. It's usually in this camera bag, but I only have one camera. So my BTS behind the scenes camera currently is this bad boy. It's my iPhone. I think this is an 11. I'm actually not sure. My wife got it for me. And I use this ring light to hold the phone. And that's like any BTS shots you see at home, that's pretty much how I do it with the phone. And yeah, Canon R6, but when I have bigger budget shoots, then I'll preferably use the R6 as my behind the scenes camera and then go over to maybe the R5 as the main camera, the 1DX Mark III. I love those cameras, but let's jump into this one. This camera bag has been in 6 different countries. 6 different countries, can you believe it? And the other day I was remodeling my study room and I accidentally got some paint on there. So, but it's got character, man. Like all the countries that this bag has seen. It's a Lowepro. I actually don't know how to pronounce it. Love this bag, Lowepro, guys. My zips, the thingy on the zips broke, so I put this thing there. I'll jump in with a close-up now. It's an African tribal symbol for beauty, and what the symbol means is there is beauty in everything around us. We just have to open our eyes to see it. And I thought, wow, this is something that's been a part of my creative journey for quite a while. So I put it on my camera bag to help it open up, but also to remind me that like I'm not always gonna have the best locations, I'm not always gonna have the best lighting conditions, like things aren't always gonna go in my favor, but I should always see the beauty in everything around me. So just like open your eyes to see beautiful things even when it's not beautiful. All right, so open up the bag. I literally own 3 lenses, but the lenses that I mostly use is, let's start with quite a wide one, the Sigma Art 20mm 1.4. Awesome lens if you want to go really wide without having like the fish eye angle view. This lens is beautiful for that, especially when you do have a crop factor on your camera sometimes, like when I'm switching over to 4K or image stabilization, it just crops in a little bit more. So this will still help you to have like a wider field of view. And then I have my 50mm 1.4 Love this lens. This is my favorite lens. Why do I like a 50mm? Because a 50mm for me kind of is like the closest thing to what we see. It's the closest kind of like, I don't know, relatable image size for our eyes to process. And on the 50mm, I've got a polarizer lens, and oh my word, this thing is absolutely amazing. When you're shooting outside and you've got like harsh conditions and you can't just wait for golden hour, you just have to go in scorching hot weather now. This thing helps to kind of like just soften some of those highlights when you film cars or car commercials and things like that. I love having this thing on my lens because reflections get cancelled out. It is absolutely awesome. I don't know, it's just got like this cinematic touch to it. But yeah, another thing about the 50mm is I love how it compresses the background. And then the lens that I'm filming with at the moment is the 35mm Sigma Art 1.4. Spicy lens, really like that lens as well. It's also kind of like taking me back to the golden days of filmmaking, where like the 35mm is kind of like that wider field of view. It's just giving you that more cinematic touch, and you can go closer with it and still have a little bit of a wider view, where with the 50mm, when you go super close, it just kind of like compresses the background in a bit too much with certain things. And then going over to my absolute favorite lens, and this is a lens I use with a friend of mine, Arnon. I mentioned him in one of the other videos. Check the link in there. He's got an 85mm, and then we just swap around with the lenses that we have. Like some shoots I take the 85, then he takes my 50, and oh, that 85 is also just it's next level. So working with what I have. Also, you know, when it comes to client shoots, yes, I'll rent in anything that I need because there's a desired budget for that. This equipment is helping me to monetize as well, because every shoot you do charge for the equipment, because like wear and tear, man, damn, you know how many times I had to kind of like just take these lenses in because it just doesn't want to focus nice anymore. It's just like you're overshooting these things. I mean, like I think I had close to 250,000 shutter count on my Canon 5D Mark IV before I sold it. And just as a little thing, like if you have a 5D Mark IV, I have produced TVCs with a 5D Mark IV. That's the camera I started my company with. The 5D Mark IV is amazing. Once you get to know light, and once you get to manipulate color and manipulate light, man, just awesome. Like it's ridiculous. So let's push it to that level. Next, what else do I have in here? I've got batteries, things like sanitizer. Then this little speaker. This is I love this speaker. This speaker I bought with my first salary working for a production company. My first salary working for a production company. I'm so proud of this speaker. Now, it just kind of like, if the mood is a bit dull on set, you just like in between takes, if you're not recording audio, you know, just pump it up. And then, what do I have in here? I used to have a drone, by the way. This was the case for the drone's remote, but I crashed the drone and it's like it was beyond economical repairs. Yeah, so just got a bunch of like cap thingies, like yeah, rope. Like you never know when you need rope on set. Like it's crazy. I've got a bunch of clamps and things and stuff, and I can go through everything, but I think this video will be like an hour long if I go through those little, yeah. If you guys want a video specifically for like the little thingies that I use to make cool content, just yeah, drop it in the comments below. This is nice when optimal stability, really cool. And then also with audio, yeah, this thing, it's a backup, it's not there. This, my mom, she bought me a belt when she was in Spain, but yeah, this belt is like 4 sizes too small. Now I use it on set to, you know, tie things up, or, you know, like if sometimes, you know, you just need some counterbalance or anything like this. Like you can find different ways to do that. Also, if you want a specific video on different ways how to use a belt on set, up filmmaking game, comment below. And yeah, it's pretty much, this thing, it's cool. It's for the Mac, to plug it in, and you can take a card and bunch of other things that don't go into Mac ports, because like we know it's always Mac ports, but yeah, they make my life so much easier. Absolutely love the brand, but like with all the cables and the port, oh, it's just a mission. Backup this one for a hard drive when you need one. Now over to two things that have really helped my filmmaking game and helped me up my filmmaking game so far, and that's this thing and this thing. This thing I'm not using as much as I'm using this thing, but I'm not always using this thing. But I can never use these two things together. Sometimes I can, if I have a wireless control. Just check if I'm in focus. Yep, I am in focus. Right, so what's very cool about using a field monitor? One, on set, you look way more professional. On set, client can see what you see on your camera, because that's one of the things that clients really do stress about sometimes, and that is not being able to see what's happening in there, especially when it comes to lenses. They don't know what's the size of the shot sometimes. So having a monitor on set really eases things out for the client, but also helps you to see things like composition. Composition is so important. And to see what's happening in the edges, what's happening in the corners, you know? Is there something slightly off? Is there a slight shadow that you can't see on the screen? Also, with exposure, these monitors help you a lot. I'm filming in log most of the time, so if sometimes you're unsure and different lighting situations can throw you under, having the monitor that can go back to standard picture profile and just having log profile on your VT there just makes a world of difference if you're unsure sometimes. But trust me, a Canon log you can really trust. Gimbal, the DJI Ronin S, the 2018 model. Yep, I have not upgraded it yet. I haven't really felt the need to, especially with the R6, who has in-camera stabilization, so those slighter B-roll movements can be easier achieved with a handheld. And yes, if I'm hanging out of a moving car on the highway or on a farm road, yes, I'll definitely be using this thing. And yeah, more videos like that will be coming. I can assure you that. And then this thing, initially this was a dud. I thought it was bigger when I initially bought it. Really, I imagined something that can hold a couple of lenses and a body, and then this thing arrives. I ordered it for a shoot that we had to do in Cameroon. I wanted to put some lenses and things in it, especially when we like go off-road and into the woods and things like that. Like you want something that's sturdy, you know, something that's quite hard. And then it came and I'm like, what is this? Is this what I ordered? So sometimes online shopping and sizes, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, 2 years later, I buy this thing, and what do you know? It comes with a thing like this, you know, just to cover the monitor, and oh, that thing went blue. Okay. Oh no, I think we only have signal now again. Oh well. Huh. But it probably still recorded, I don't know. But then the thing was big enough, so it just kind of like went in here, and I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I didn't throw it away. So now it looks kind of cool when you rock up with this thing and your monitor. And again, on the monitors, a lot of the times when you do have bigger budgets for shoots, I rent in or I hire the Atomus Ninja or the Atom, I don't know, some other Atomus, and I can record internally in the Atomus, which also allows to kind of like push the capabilities of your camera a bit further, because you can record it at higher quality, like ProRes quality. So it really just kind of like helps you up your game. This specific monitor that I have over here is only for VT, to check color, to check like everything is perfect. Much cheaper as well than the Atom. It's like way cheaper, like 6 times cheaper, literally 6 times cheaper, and there's not a difference in size, but what the other monitor can do, perfect. So when I have bigger shoots, I usually rent in that other monitor, the Atomus. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's obviously one of my dream goals, to have one of them. But you know, for what I have here and what I need now, perfect. Even though I'm not using this baby that much anymore, like we've had a journey together, you know. We've had a journey together. We've done a bunch of cool shoots together, and I know I talk about these shoots and I don't show them on the channel, but most of the stuff that I've done was client work. Now I'm at that point where I want to explore everything that I possibly can and present that. So I want to kind of like not recreate, but I want to create something for me, you know. That's why I'm doing YouTube anyway. But yeah, we've seen a couple of countries together, many a life-threatening situations, hanging out of the backside of a car on very dodgy and sketchy roads. What am I packing? 2021 audio. All right, so let's start with, I use these to edit as well. Love them. Love these ones. Noise cancelling headphones. I bought these in Dubai. Put on the noise cancelling and it's like, yeah, so don't switch on noise cancelling when recording. And I'm using, I don't even know what brand this is. I bought this back in 2017 when I started my video production company, and I haven't used it up until now. I haven't used it up until now because one of my lapels broke. So actually both the lapels that I have broke, both of them. So I'm still getting them replaced, but I like Rode mics, pretty cool. Unlucky it broke. And then transmitter and receivers, these things do work amazing, especially when you're shooting interviews and you don't want a thing like this kind of like in the way when you're in a confined space. So lovely, just put the lapel on the transmitter and the receiver, hook it in. Looks very professional as well, I must say. And then I'm using the H6 handy recorder. This thing is absolutely amazing. It can record 4 different audio channels, and it's got a backup here, this thing over here. So if something happens during the shoot with this cable or anything, then I've got backup, which in many cases can help you. I like to use one of these stands sometimes to put this thing as like a backup audio recorder. I like this stand because you can use this stand for a light if you want like top lit scene. Pretty cool. It's got a counterbalance bag, so you don't have to like use a camera bag to counterbalance, you know, because it's the cheapest C stand that you'll get. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Lenses that there's obviously a bunch of lenses and stuff that I really want to get and like using, especially now that I've entered into the YouTube sphere. Now, like a 24-70mm I think would be a nice lens to invest in. Let me know in the comments below if you guys think the same. And then obviously the famous thing, the ultimate thing, lighting. But guys, there's a separate video I can do on lighting. A separate video I can do just on lighting.